This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts.
Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of Smoking Out the Closet. For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast.
Pun intended.
That talks about cannabis,
The LGBT community,
and everything in between.
and beyond.
So welcome.
Welcome.
I think that was the smoothest. Can I just say real fast? This is the smoothest we've ever had an intro.
I think so, yeah.
And I'm very happy and proud of us for that. It only took us like 90-something episodes. Are we on the 80s? Or we got to be like high 80s, low 90s. Because the whole switch over from podcasters by Spotify from Anchor, I can't keep track anymore.
Yeah.
So, just going to make a lot of noise if I move the top pieces. I'm just going to leave them there. So today we reviewed, we've been kind of using it all week to review the Goat Grinder, which we found at the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival. And it was really cool because they're a Pittsburgh-based company, which I didn't realize till today from looking at their box.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you've used it officially, and I've used it. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I was very confused at first on how to use it. I will say, and their direction QR code wasn't working quite well for the first time we tried to use it. Sorry, but they eventually did get it fixed. It works pretty well.
When you know how to use it.
When you know how to use it, and you have the ring tightened down on the little jar.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of keef out of it. Like,
oh yeah!
Holy cow! I still had issues with the top part getting it lined up right to grind it. I felt like,
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I liked it. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5.
Yeah.
Just because I would like some other way for the top pieces to line up, maybe like a lip on the inside of that ring or something to line up like where the top piece goes.
Okay.
So.
I honestly didn't have a whole lot of issue once I was using it right. And I packed the whole thing pretty heavy with bud to like grind up to try it. You are right, it does keep a lot of keef in it, and I think it's because the sifter that's inside. They said you can use it on small mason jars, and I went to check the Ball brand mason jars we have, and then I realized they're the big one. They're too big for it. But you were like, here, use this pickle jar.
Yeah, and you were like, that's a pickle jar. I was like, try it. And it works. It fits.
Yeah.
So if you get the Vlasics...
like the small gherkins.
Yeah, they fit on there.
Yeah, so the Goat Grinder's top is supposed to be able to sit in pretty much any container you want it to. Within the correct diameter. But it can screw on like the small mason jars, jelly jars.
I think this ball jar I have, it's a green ball jar. I got it at Goodwill. It might fit on here.
It might honestly fit there.
Pint. Yeah.
But yeah, you can grind it. So if you want a whole bunch to like use to decarb and everything, you just set it on top, grind and go.
Yeah.
I will say, even while I wasn't using it right for the first couple times, it still grinded pretty well, I feel like. It's not... Because we got some ground up still here. I wish we had a camera so we could show everybody.
Yeah.
It's not super fine, which I don't mind. Because apparently this is supposed to be better, some people say. Like some cannabis connoisseurs, I guess.
Yeah.
Prefer hand just basically ripping it off the stem and putting it in like whatever method they're using. I honestly noticed this was pretty good for a dry herb vaporizer.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it didn't clog it up as much. And whenever we're smoking it, I actually feel like it doesn't give us Scooby snacks as much, and I feel like it's a nice smoother. Like it's not overly like hard to actually inhale with or anything.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of like this consistency. I'm actually going to probably keep using this for the podcast, to be honest.
Okay.
Now I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because the biggest thing is the price point. No, I'm not saying it's totally unfair. I understand that like these materials cost money, they're new, kind of getting it off the ground and everything to the point where they're not fully at mass production side. I do get that. And I'm not taking points away, but it's something I thought I should bring up. Because this was on sale when I got it from them at the Cannabis Festival for $60. Normally it's 70 or 75, they said. And I think the biggest thing is the metal ring and the glass jar and the sift.
Yeah.
In that. Because it's really nice. Very expensive grinder. And so, like...
Yeah.
But I will say, it's kind of worth it. It's kind of worth it, in my opinion. Because, think about it. That's like... What, a Cresco 1/8 almost?
Yeah.
Like... Cheap, on sale, quarter. Like, this is easy to get and go through. So, I mean, would I like to see the price point lower? Yes. Hopefully that comes with time. But honestly, I also think the fact that, like, it not having directions in the container and, like, dependent on a QR code that, not a lot of people will be able to use. Because you got to think of, like, elderly patients and stuff. Like, they're not super tech savvy, so they're not going to really understand directions. Some of them can't even use our website for like ordering because it just confuses them. So I don't think they're going to be able to like fully get like, hey, go to this website here or anything. So I think having instructions in the container with it, like in a little piece of paper, would be beneficial. That's actually something I did take points off of for this. But I mean, honestly, other than that, I put it through the ringer and the metal didn't shear off. None of the paint came off. Like, it's easy to clean too. Because all you got to do is just pretty much pour isopropyl. You can even use a sift if you want, or take it out and just basically you shake it. And that's all you do to clean it. It's honestly not been prone to like getting clogged or anything. Like, I've packed it pretty tight and like pushed down, and it did not have any bud stick in it. So it's pretty good. So I genuinely like this product. But that being said, the average for us makes it certified meds, but high-end certified meds. Was it like 3.8 or something like that? 3.85?
I think.
So a couple things hopefully to improve on down the road, but I'm very excited to see what they do. And the fact that they're based here in Pittsburgh, I'm very excited to hear more about them and see them more in local events and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So this topic I wanted to bring up to talk to you about kind of came out because of a patient asked me the other day at work, and it kind of jotted this memory for me. Ground flower. Is it worth it?
Honestly, like, it's cheap, yes. It's usually, I feel like, very dry. It's definitely something I feel like to be a filler if you're trying to like stretch good flower or have like more of good flower, or like if you're just going for that alone, I don't feel like you're going to get a lot of benefit because a lot of the terps and stuff at that point aren't at their prime, because that ground flower, like I said, gets really dry, and it's just, I don't know, a lot of it's not great like testing. It doesn't have a lot of terps to it.
True. I will say, kind of counter that on that one. Depends who you get it from. Because folks like, and we love you all to death, Terrapin their ground flower is because they machine separate the buds and everything, so it's got like shake, ground flower, and small buds.
We'll see. It never comes in at my store as ground flower.
Yeah.
It's always just labeled as shake.
See, at my store it's ground for some reason.
In my store, it just always comes in as shake.
Huh. So will we count that then?
I wouldn't, because I feel like that's shake. That's just what
Okay.
comes off the machine.
Because it honestly does test lower.
Yeah.
Than most of Terrapin stuff. I haven't really seen much just because like it'll take like GTI Rhythm with their supply. Supply and Shine sells ground flower. And the supply that's Supply's Cross Cow. Good Green and Shine are under GTI, and they both sell ground flower. But the Shine is more like rhythm ground up, where like Good Green is like Good Green's buds, like the small buds ground up.
Okay.
And I feel like the Shine ones have been pretty good, from what people have told me testing wise, or from what I've seen.
Okay.
But that's not always the case with most grower processors.
Yeah, like I've had ground flower from Modern, and I wasn't a huge fan. I've had ground flower. I mean, I've seen ground flower from like Farm RX. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be testing as well as their regular flower. I also don't think Farm RX sells small buds in PA right now.
Not, at least not out here.
No.
It's kind of few and far between that Farm RX sells anything out this side of the state anymore.
Yeah, honestly. I joked they were the gay weed because we only got them in Pride Month.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
I will say a big benefit. So my thing with ground flower is very beneficial for those with arthritis or hand issues, so they don't actually have to grind it. They can just pick it and put it up in a dry herb vaporizer or whatever they're going to use.
Yeah.
And just go. It's great for that. It's great for just kind of quick, I don't feel like grinding today, here it is kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or, kind of, like you said, more bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
The only other benefit I can think of ground flower is making your own edibles.
Yeah.
Like decarbing it and everything. It takes half the work. And you literally just, like, I use that with lemon G. I had a lemon G ground flower the one day, and I was just like, bop, bop, bop.
You just pour it all in
and
put it in the decarb box.
Also, I'm sorry for our listeners if you hear there's like the sound quality sounds a little different.
We took a lot of our stuff off the wall. We're getting ready to move again.
Yeah, we're moving still in Pittsburgh, but going to a different location. So like, I can hear it, and it's starting to bug me a little.
Yeah, it is a little extra echoey in here right now.
We'll
have to figure out our new setup at our new place and everything.
So the sound quality might sound a little off for a little bit, and I do apologize for that ahead in time. Is there anything else you want to add about ground flower?
I don't think so.
Okay. So your final thought, worth it or no? Or depends?
I honestly think it depends, because sometimes there is decent ground flower that looks like it has terps and good percents or whatever. So cool, yeah, if it's a cheap price, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's something to grab for like first thing off the bat.
Yeah, I will say it depends, but I mean, and I think it's very worth it as a whole together. It just is a lot more specific, but then again, it's also like people who buy concentrates, like they have a specific usage and reasoning and methods for it, and I can see why it would be good for people, who are regularly getting it. Honestly, I think it's depends and it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is kind of the answer I gave to the patient. Do you want to talk about Ohio?
Sure.
Do you want me to introduce it, or do you want to introduce it?
You can introduce it if you want to.
Okay. So the state of Ohio, our neighbors to the west,
Yes.
um, recently got the required amount of signatures needed for putting the vote to the people of recreational marijuana in the state. It'll be held on the ballot, I believe the general election ballot at this November, I think.
Yes.
The coalition to regulate marijuana like alcohol secured enough signatures to put its proposal before voters on the November 7th ballot. Secretary of State Frank LaRoe's office announced on Wednesday. Advocates originally collected 127,772 signatures of the measure. More than not originally. They ended up with that total, which is more than 124,046 signatures required to qualify for the ballot. They originally were 700 signatures short. After election officials verified the first batch, but the state law in Ohio requires that any groups that are short, they have 10 days to get the required signatures um, to be able to like actually be on the ballot, and they got them. So good for Ohio. We're very happy for y'all.
Just very happy if you Yins go rec too, because we're real close.
Yeah, we're real close. Like Ohio's close. I think Ohio is technically closer to, if they go rec before we do, they would be the closest one for us, and they'll be our second to last neighbor to go rec.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm going to be so many people are going to be so mad about.
Yeah. We can't let Ohio beat us to go rec.
No, I mean, come on. PA and Ohio have such a big rivalry for years. Even bigger than PA and Maryland's rivalry.
Rivalry.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I'm going tongue-tied right now. Like, Ohio and PA hate each other.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So we need to beat them at this, okay? Because the only state that we would have a neighbor that's not recreational is West Virginia, and we have barely a little sliver of a border with them.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
I keep forgetting that too, that we border
West
Virginia.
We would technically have to drive through West Virginia, I think, like 30 minutes to get to Ohio, or kind of just go up 30 minutes and then go over to hit Ohio. But it'd be really cool because then we can go to the melt again.
Oh my god, yeah, that was great. We could not be fucking paranoid for smoking weed in Ohio.
Oh my god, right? So it'd be very interesting. But PA needs to get their crap together.
They really do. Come on, PA.
Oh, this is something you introduced me to that happened recently. Now this is it's not the exact link you sent me.
Yeah.
But I use that link to take it to the actual newspaper that talked about it and goes a little more in depth about it. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. You're clicking. Please hold. Okay. So I had seen this and I was like, what? I was intrigued because the original CBD store that I went to was the one in State College.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when they started popping up pretty much everywhere. There's one down the street from us right now.
Yeah.
That's on Steubenville Pike. And as the CBD store owner faces felony counts. This is from the Altoona Mirror. D'Angelo allegedly sold illegal items to undercover state trooper. The owner of the CBD store in Hollidaysburg faces charges after allegedly selling illegal products to an undercover state police officer. Michael Joseph D'Angelo, 57 of Altoona, was arraigned Tuesday before magisterial God, why is that word so hard?
Mm-hmm.
District Judge Paula M. Anger on 2 felony charges of possession with intent to deliver and 2 misdemeanor charges of possession of a small amount of marijuana. He was released on unsecured $50,000 bail, and his preliminary hearing set for August 15th, which has already passed.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any updates or anything from it yet.
According to
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just don't think the results are out yet.
Okay. According to the affidavit of probable cause, on January 18th, an undercover officer entered the Innovative Extracts / Our CBD store on the 200 block of Allegheny Street, excuse me, in Hollidaysburg Borough, and noticed a jar labeled Delta 8 Boom Gummies, 500 milligram, 25 milligram Delta 8 per gummy. Interesting. The officer reported that if the label was correct, the item was illegal in Pennsylvania. The officer picked up the item for purchase and noticed Delta 8 vape cartridge. He also picked it up to look closer, and another product fell to the floor. When he picked up that item, D'Angelo said it was really good, explaining the item, a boom sticker design edition, peaches and cream Delta 8 disposable vape was for the experienced user that would give an intense high. D'Angelo said the jar of gummies would give the casual user a little bit more of a mellow high, the report states. Okay, but what... It was Delta 8, though, so what was illegal about it?
So, I did look this up. According to the way PA's laws are and how they're interpreting the Farm Bill, is because it is saying Delta 8. They don't say this in the article, but this is the way I'm believing it. It's specifically saying that it is Delta 8 THC. Not THCA, not THCO, not THCV, just straight THC. Or it doesn't say that at all, and they're getting him on a gray area. The thing that it says is that because of the hemp bill, if it is 0.3% THC, it is legal for sale, use, combustion, whatever.
Mm.
But if it goes above that, it is no longer considered hemp. It's considered marijuana, even though they're kind of different plants.
Yeah.
But because of that, it then becomes a part of the law where it is a controlled substance at this point. The thing is the controlled substance, the way it's written, is specifically for Delta 9 THC, and the structure in the legislation and everything. But some states, like Pennsylvania, are kind of considering that a gray area, and they're going to saying that Delta 8 and Delta 10 are derived from Delta 9 THC, and that's how you get that. Not that it grows naturally in the way that hemp-derived cannabis is. So, because that's what, in 2016, when we put the medical bill out, Tom Wolfe, when he signed that bill, also put a thing with hemp-derived, that it is not legal, and they're following how the law was for the federal law at the time. So when the Farm Bill came out, it basically said that if it's under the 0.3 the way the Farm Bill is, it's cool. If it's not, no matter if it says THC, it's a no-go if it's over 0.3%. And that's where they got him, I think.
Interesting. Just goes more into detail about like the cop going into there and purchasing the items.
No, I will say in this thing is if you scroll up a little bit, it says he was told the state changed the law and Delta 8 was now illegal. I looked that up. There is no new law. There has not been any new law since the newest thing was the 2018 Farm Bill.
Mm.
Anything else, there was nothing else illegal. So this doesn't fully seem on the up and up. Because it continues saying the officer then told D'Angelo he was looking for a good psychological high, to which D'Angelo pointed out 2 items the report states. The first was a vape cartridge, and repeating what it said earlier. But D'Angelo said it was made with a different process versus Delta 8. The process made it illegal in this state. D'Angelo then picked up a jar of gummies labeled with a symbol for Delta 8 and the letters THC. And that's what got him.
Mm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And a lot of the comments on this, and that's another thing. So one of my favorite things is someone states earlier, meanwhile, meth, heroin, pills flooding the streets, but the pot version of non-alcoholic beer is a real killer. Come on.
Yeah, right. Like, come on. Good grief. Bet he smoked it. Probably.
Yeah, but he did too. Wasting taxpayers' money is ridiculous.
ACAB, fuck y'all. Cops actually do something about the real drug problems in our towns. Yeah,
Yes.
This was from the Altoona Mirror, and Altoona has a ridiculous drug problem.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is. You just go meth. Go to the Altoona sheets beside the hospital, and you will see the real problem in Altoona is not the Delta 8 THC.
And that's the thing is like because Altoona is in a very Republican-controlled area. And I wanted to go and talk. I wanted to send the magisterial judge Agner an email. You can't. You can only go to the address, send a letter, or call. And I'm like, dude, this is weak. This is fucking weak as shit. Oh boy.
I'm so glad I don't live there anymore either. Let me tell you what. The 1 year that I lived in Altoona was 1 year way too many.
And now, like, here's the thing too. The cops arrested him saying there's a new law, but I can't find fucking anything. Like, I can't even go. So it's either buried really hidden or the fucking cops lying.
What? A cop lying?
Right? Because, like, it's Altoona. It's not unheard of. Hell, even State College had dirty judges.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Huntington County was horrible with it, too.
Yeah. So, like, and it's, like I was saying earlier, it's a very Republican area, so, like, they're probably going to lean towards more of the, prohibition, reefer madness mentality on everything.
Unfortunately. So
we're going to have to keep an eye out on everything. And I realized as we were talking that it's like the preliminary hearing was on the 15th. So if he, is stated not guilty, they're going to have to wait to get the trial set up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a minute. But we'll keep an eye on everything and keep you all updated.
Yeah, absolutely, because this is going to be interesting.
Looks like we're at that time for our break, and I think you and me could use a round of water.
Probably, yeah.
We'll see you all in a moment.
Bye-bye.
Pretty in pink and purely wood pulp derived, Blazy Susan pink rolling papers and cones will add a pop of color to your next smoke sesh. Their classic pink papers are naturally dyed, vegan, GMO free, and food safe. They contain no amounts of heavy metals or pesticides unlike other paper producers. Care about what goes in your lungs with Blazy Susan papers and cones. Use promo code BGSOTC20 at checkout to get 20% off with your friends at Smoking Out the Closet. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $50 in the United States. And we are back.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just happy because while we were on the break and getting water and everything, I tried to put the top of the goat grinder on the little green ball jar that you have.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by anything. And it fits. And I'm just kind of excited about that. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's okay to be excited about that. It's pretty cool though when you find things that fit on other things.
And it just works.
Yeah. It just works. All right, so I have something else I wanted to talk about because I just said this in passing to you the other day, and then you found an article about it, and it's from the Washington Post. The headline is "This is the gayest World Cup ever," parenthesis, and no one is batting an eyelid. um, there are about 100 openly LGBTQ plus players and coaches across the tournament's expanded 32 teams, according to counts by LGBTQ publications. Of those, Otto Straddle noted that the tournament just might be the most openly queer sporting event in history, that being the Women's World Cup. I kind of skipped over. I skipped over the little intro part, but it was several superlatives could be used to describe this year's Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. It's been really well attended and really exciting to watch, and it's really, really gay. Um, the impact for the queer community, not just here but around the world, cannot be underestimated, said Bu Newell, Pride and Sport National Program Manager with ACON and LGBT Health for Nonprofit. These women in the World Cup currently, they're the catalyst for change. These athletes are proving that they can be their authentic selves and that it doesn't compromise their success, he said. Which, aw, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
The most recent men's World Cup in Qatar last year, there were no openly gay players, but in the women's game, openly queer players have become an integral part of the sport.
I mean, yeah, it's like softball. They're stereotypically queer sports for women to play in.
Yeah. Co-host Australia appears to be the team with the most gay players, with more than half of their squad of 23 openly LGBTQ+, including captain and star Sam Kerr. The striker's relationship with U.S. player Christy Mewis is among the most well-known in the soccer world.
Mm-hmm.
In February, the Matildas, as the Australian women's team is called, donned rainbow jerseys to celebrate Sydney's World Pride while playing in Spain in the Cup of the Nations. To wear the rainbow colors, something that I've always been really proud of and passionate about, is very special, Kerr said in a video statement at the time. And being, and being myself, being true to who I am, and being really open with everyone about who I am, I hope the message that's received by the public is a really positive one. Aw. Cute.
And this is around the same time as that truck TRUK United football club, which is a soccer all trans man soccer team.
Oh, that's cool.
Or football club. So like we're getting all of this, it's trans UK. TRUK. We're getting a lot of very good representation of the LGBT plus community, and it's slowly showing the saying, look, it's just another thing that people are who they are, and it does not affect their ability to be an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so amazing that we're actually, we're getting to this point. There's been a lot of setbacks in some other areas and with certain other athletes, but like we're slowly getting there. But the thing I worry about is the whole, this is nothing against queer women. Nothing against queer women. I feel like it's like trans men for a lot of things, so not a lot of people bring them up, even though a lot of the rules do affect them. I'm not saying that. but like certain things don't get brought up because it doesn't fit the narrative of the ones that are trying to push on everything.
Yeah.
Like whenever we were like the homophobia and the anti, like no queer weddings or anything like that. You always heard. I always felt like I heard it more about like gay men than lesbians or like queer women because it didn't fit their narrative. All the things they were pushing affected everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't fit their narrative. And I feel like part of that was because like how they're fetishized in a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that like no one's batting an eye or saying everything. My worry is because they're not saying anything because of that same stuff. And that's my worry. My hope is no one's batting an eye because they're realizing it's fucking ridiculous to be worried about this shit.
Yeah, because it
That
honestly is.
that is my hope. But there is a small tinge and that's like, but is it just the old shit from like during the 70s and 80s? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will say we recently had one. It was in the article a little bit ago. The picture. Megan Rapinoe. She's big on our U.S. women's national soccer team. She's big, very queer, very queer. Kind of a big icon.
I mean, this picture, I love the hair. It's blue. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think she rocked purple for a while or pink.
Nice.
And I like soccer, so I mean, this is like, we were at a sports bar the one day, and no, we were at Permane Bros.
Yeah.
It was the three of us. We were at Permane Bros, and there was a soccer game on, and I'm just sitting there going, "Ooh, yes, come on." You rarely see me get animated about any sport, but when it comes to football clubs and soccer, I'm animated. Is there anything else you want to add to this? Any more you want to read?
I just thought it was cool.
Okay.
It's just soccer, the women's league is very queer. And now I'm like, well, I'm queer and now I need to watch soccer. I knew I would watch women's soccer. And just the fact that it's very queer, I feel like I should watch it anyway.
So this is going back to my neck of the woods. I was looking up stuff to talk about LGBT, and I was trying to see if there was anything big on the news. And I thought it was funny. I noticed a very familiar logo on Google search thing, and it was this 10 with a wave in it.
You've told me about them.
So this is Wavy TV 10, the local news station that I had growing up in Virginia. This was my news growing up as a kid. So this was made on their website. Oh, the video is popping up. Hang on. So Hampton, Virginia. No, my neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
The Norfolk or Norfolk, depending on how southern you want to go. Based LGBT Life Center is opening up a new LGBTQI plus center and clinic on the peninsula. This is a little south of where I lived, like about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on traffic. The center, which helped local LGBTQI plus communities with healthcare and other support for 35 years, is moving into a vacant building. I'm not going to say the address, just so people, don't hate listen to this podcast and everything, but it's still in the Hampton Roads area.
Mm-hmm.
That the center bought in 2017. An event was held Wednesday to kick off the renovation of the space alongside Hampton Mayor Donnie Tuck and other local officials. They say they wouldn't have been able to do it without $1.8 million in appropriations funding secured by Congressman Bobby Scott and Virginia Senator Tim Kaine. Wow, you're still a senator? And Mark Warner. The center's also aiming to raise an additional $1.2 million in new capital campaign announced Wednesday. We are honored to receive this funding and thrilled to decrease barriers in care by expanding access to life-affirming services on the peninsula and throughout Hampton Roads, says Stacey Wall, CEO of LGBT Life Center. Today's event represents a lifetime of work and dedication. None of this would have been possible without a deep commitment to service from our board, each and every one of our staff over the last 35 years, and most importantly, our LGBTQ plus community. We are proud of where we are today and the strength of our organization. The new location will have a full primary care clinic on... all right, let me back that up a second. A full primary care clinic, an on-site pharmacy, mental health counseling, HIV and STI testings and treatments, and much more. The facility is expected to open spring of 2024. That warms my heart a lot, and kind of makes me a little sad at the same time, because at this point it's about half my life, maybe a little under half now, but no, it's a little under half now because Mississippi. But majority of my life, I grew up in the Hampton Roads area, specifically Newport News, Virginia. That was my home for the longest time. And that's not super far away from where I grew up, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Heck, Dad would have to drive to Norfolk a lot of times for work. Between when I was in the Navy, because that's the biggest in-country naval base we have, is Norfolk. Dad would have to go there sometimes for like working on the shipyards, or like when he became a tow truck driver, he would go out there and sometimes pick up cars or whatever. So it was not an unusual thing for me to go to Norfolk.
Yeah.
So if we never moved up to Pennsylvania, I'd probably still be in Virginia, which means that probably would be where I would go if there isn't one in Newport News.
Yeah.
Which I'd be surprised if there's not one in Newport News, to be honest, with how big Newport News is. But still, that's really cool, and I'm very happy this is a thing. But 35 years, I had no fucking idea any of this was like in this state. I had openly gay neighbors growing up, though.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I knew, But then again, I wasn't out till I was in college.
Yeah.
I mean, I was out in high school to my friends and everything, but I wasn't out to my family till like college. So, like, I don't know. It's a bittersweet knowledge.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I'm very happy, and I'm very happy Wavy TV 10 is doing positive coverage of this kind of stuff too.
That's pretty neat that you found. That's like you found your news people in your neck of the woods down there. Sorry, in your neck of the woods down there, and you're able to talk about an article on your podcast.
I don't know why I'm so coffee.
I think it's because of the air quality outside. We were outside for a little bit today. We're moving shit around too.
Yeah.
Kicking up dirt in the apartment too.
Do you want to talk about the move?
Yeah, we probably should.
We got time.
We do have time.
So, like we said at the beginning of this episode, we might have brought it up a little bit on a previous episode. We are moving, not super far.
Thank goodness.
20 minutes away, probably.
Yeah, if that.
But sound quality is gonna be weird. But you said thank goodness, so it feels like you're gonna say
thank goodness we're moving. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to move.
We're getting a house.
Yeah.
So not as much background noise, like outside or
People stepping on your head when you're trying to sleep.
yeah, like
These new neighbors upstairs. I don't know why they like to move their furniture around at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night while I'm trying to fucking sleep. They move their whole bedroom around.
Not sure where we're gonna put our little like recording setup at the new house yet. We're going to a house. We'll have like 2 neighbors. But we'll figure that out. The town might be weird a little bit, but yeah, thank goodness we're leaving.
Yeah, so excited. I'm excited to move. I'm not excited to rent this box truck and drive this box truck.
Yeah,
I'm so paranoid to drive this truck. Anxious.
you'll do great.
I hope so.
I also will say it'll probably be so I've only gone to now 3 dispensaries in the state of PA. And the first 2 I've gone to are within walking distance of where we lived. So now my new go-to dispensary is gonna probably be the dispensary that's gonna be near where we're moving to. Do you want to say what it is, or you just want to keep it like ambiguous so no one knows where we are? But yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to take the tea.
Yeah. If I'm working like a mid shift or something, I can even jump on the bus and go out to work.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Especially considering where I work and where we're going to be living.
Yeah.
But I could do it. I could sleep on the bus. Excuse me. Let's do a podcast or something.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm very excited to move.
this basement in this house is nice.
Oh yeah, that was the thing I wanted to talk about. We were talking about making our basement like Foreman's basement.
Yeah, our basement's gonna be like Foreman's. Foreman's basement wasn't finished, and they had shit down there.
Yeah.
And like when I was talking to the person who was dealing with the property and getting us, showed and leased and whatever, they don't have issues, but they always have to put that in the lease saying, "Don't put your shit down there without knowing it'll make it wet." And I'm like, well, if it gets wet. This couch was free. The TV stand we're going to put down there was free. Some of the TVs we're going to put down there we've had for a while. We're going to get a dehumidifier put down there for shit too. But like, it's not, I don't feel like it's going to flood. It was it was pouring pretty bad while I was there. So at least we know when it rains, doesn't take water on. But, whenever, snow melts and whatever, we'll have to see what happens. But
yeah,
I'm excited. Central heat and air.
It's
going to be so damn quiet.
It is. We're probably gonna have to our sleep sounds are probably gonna turn from like rain and thunder to like city rain or something like that. No more airplanes.
No more airplanes.
I'm gonna miss that.
I do like watching the airplanes.
I mean, I work in this area, so like where we're living right now.
Yeah,
so I mean,
get to watch the airplanes.
I'm still gonna see that.
It took a while to get used to living with the airplanes out here. I will say that much.
That's kind of how I grew up, honestly. Because, like, my first high school, it's not there anymore, but my first high school before we moved up here to PA was in the Newport News Williamsburg International Airport. It was, like, in the OG air terminal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was the Aviation Academy, and it was so small, I couldn't be its own high school, so I had to be a part of a magnet program attached to Denby High School, which is the high school my mom graduated from.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was one of 5 high schools. Yeah, we were so big we had 5 high schools. Just in Uptown.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be able to walk to, like, places, too.
Yeah.
And just walk. And just be able to walk on flat surfaces, because around here, where we are right now...
More or less flat surfaces. There are some hills.
Here, it's just all hill.
Yeah, we have to leave, we have to go up a ridiculous hill.
Yeah. And I'm not going to have to wait for a left turn light to get into the fucking apartment complex. I can just stop at the stop sign and then turn and then go down the little street and park on the road.
Downside, though, We're in pretty good distances from like an Eaton Park
Yeah.
and a Euro shop.
Why is that a downside? Other than we're gonna just spend more money there.
There we go.
Let's get stoned and walk to Eaton Park.
It's not like we don't do that now.
You're right. The Sheets is gonna be a little bit farther away.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But then again,
Did we check out the Gecko situation?
no, we didn't. We need to do that tomorrow or after the pod, or even like 7-Eleven. Yeah, because like
something that's like open late.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little bummed I'm not going to be as close to a Costco.
Yeah.
Because I like walking to Costco and getting their pizza for lunch.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some of the places we're next to. I mean, there was something, I'm not going to say what it is, but there was something that was on Triple D.
Mm-hmm.
The Guy Fieri. That's in walking distance, and I've had it, and it's very good food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good little place. Just saying.
It's like coffee shops, too.
Oh, yeah. Those coffee shops. You tell me you've gone to a couple of them. They look good.
Oh, yeah. They're so good. Little bookstore.
There is a gas station near us.
Is there?
Well, yes. There is one. It's not like a Sheetz. There's no MTO things. It's like a...
You think of the one by the tea station?
Not that one, but it's very similar to that setup.
Okay.
It's over by the CVS.
I'm not quite sure where the CVS is over there. I'll have to take a look. I'll have to, because I haven't been down that way much.
Yeah, it's if you, instead of turning where we go to visit Mia, you keep going on that road further.
See, I've gone over to where Mia lives, and I've gone over to where my friend lives.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't explored much of that area. I will, definitely.
Oh, there's a really good Mexican restaurant out there, too.
Fingernails scratchy, love.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anything else you want to add?
It's going to be so damn quiet. I can't get over the fact of how quiet it's going to be. Because while I was there, looking at the place, touring the place,
Mm-hmm.
I just stood there and I was like, it's quiet. It was like, what, 5 o'clock when I went over?
Mm-hmm.
It was quiet. I stood out on the porch in the rain. It was quiet. You couldn't hear any of the cars on the main road.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so quiet. I can't wait to sit on our porch. Yeah. I'm excited to also go in our backyard.
Yeah.
We have a little yard.
You know, it's kind of funny that it's quiet considering we're technically closer to the city.
Yeah, but that area has always just been so quiet. It's just so quiet. We're also going to be within walking distance of a theater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. So excited.
And we're technically walking distance from a theater now.
Oh yeah, that one over there. By Giant Eagle.
Yeah, that way.
That's that way?
That way.
I'm fucking directionally challenged. As he points one way, Rayven points the absolute opposite direction.
Oh, because that way's the mall in Golden Corral.
Oh yeah. You're right.
And then
it's that way.
That way.
I got turned around.
Oh man, we're not gonna be walking distance from a Golden Corral now either.
Nope. That's probably for the better.
Yeah.
It's expensive anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's about an Eaton Park trip.
Excuse me.
Or Twin Peaks.
We're not going to be close to Twin Peaks anymore.
No.
We'll have to come over here.
You get so bright red at going there.
I do.
You get hella flustered.
It's good beer, though.
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like watching the Pirates there.
Yeah, it was fun. The bacon was good.
Mm-hmm. Good nachos. Decent like size nachos for the price. Heck, the freaking fried pickles I got was like what?
$9, but they were big fucking.
Yeah, because I was like $9, and I was thinking it's just gonna be like the small little platters you usually get.
Yeah, no.
No, it was
huge.
a fucking they did a whole fryer basket full of fried pickles. I'm like,
okay.
I don't think I can eat all of this. And my burger, which, oh my god, a brisket burger? Like a burger with a brisket on it?
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Divine.
Can I also say this new place? It has character. It's not just fucking landlord white. Not everything's just white.
Yeah.
It has hardwood floors. It also just doesn't have this dingy ass carpet. Because this kind of carpet that we have in this apartment,
It's like cheap ass.
it's cheap off-white carpet, and I don't know why they put it in apartments. Period. It's been in every shitty. It's been every shitty carpet, the same shitty carpet in every apartment I've been in.
Well, to be fair, these used to be dorms.
Yeah.
And they were in the dorms.
Yeah. But like, I think Park Forest also had this kind of carpet.
Yeah, they did.
It's just this
It's
kind of
cheap
carpet.
and
It's
easy to
cheap,
replace.
yeah, but it also gets dirty really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And we have hardwood floor now. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be interesting
floors.
watching our cats run on
Oh
that.
goodness, they're gonna slide into things. They're just skirting around.
Well, I think we're pretty good. It'll be a little shorter episode this week, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
We've been doing a lot of packing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to anything?
No, I don't think so.
Well, once again, my name's Raven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And this has been another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
Bye.
Bye.